JGR faced an absolute disaster. In a recent event at Sonoma, Joe Gibbs Racing faced a calamity as their team unraveled in the final moments of the race. Kyle Larson was victorious, while Kyle Busch's hopes were dashed by Ross Chastain in a dramatic last-lap twist. As we bid farewell to Fox's coverage of the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series, we reflect on the race that shook the playoff standings and left fans on the edge of their seats. Things went wrong right from the start. On lap 2, Denny Hamlin's motor blew up, causing his number 11 Camry to ignite on the front straightaway. It's baffling how such a major engine failure could happen again, especially after a similar incident last week. This back-to-back failure of Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas raises concerns, especially with the hot summer months ahead. The troubles didn't stop there. Ty Gibbs, who was already in the spotlight for a temper tantrum during yesterday's Xfinity Series race and took out his teammate Chandler Smith, hit the inside wall in turn 11. This destroyed the right front, blew a tire, and broke the right front suspension, causing him to crash out. As a result, both Joe Gibbs Racing Toyotas finished last and second to last today. Martin Truex Jr. had a rough day as well, finishing last on the lead lap after a series of misfortunes. Truex had the advantage of testing on the newly repaved surface back in March, making him a favorite for the race. However, he struggled early on, qualifying 21st. His race went from bad to worse when he got spun out early and later got hit in turn 11 by Josh Berry, who missed the corner. Despite these setbacks, Truex managed to regain his position and even led the race briefly before being overtaken by eventual race winner Kyle Larson, who had fresher tires. To make matters worse, Truex ran out of gas on the final lap, finishing 27th as he barely crossed the start-finish line. This was an absolute disaster for Joe Gibbs Racing. Christopher Bell managed to finish 9th, which wasn't too bad considering the fate of his teammates. Bell's quiet race was a blessing compared to the chaos around him. As a 4-time Sonoma winner, Truex is excellent at this track and had a top 3 car. Truex has not won a race since last July, and the pressure is mounting. Questions about his future, whether he will return next year, and the possibility of retirement are all swirling around him. Joe Gibbs is pressing Truex to make a decision, adding to the tension. Truex running out of gas wasn't solely his mistake. Kyle Busch, who pitted on the same lap, also ran out of fuel. This indicates that the error wasn't exclusively on Truex and his team, but it was still a costly mistake. Moving on from Truex, let's talk about missed opportunities in the race winner. Kyle Busch entered this race just 20 points away from the playoffs, making every point crucial. Busch, who was top 5 at Sonoma a year ago, had a relatively quiet day. He avoided much of the chaos and was running 5th in the closing laps, earning some stage points and having a good points day overall. However, on the final lap, Ross Chastain made a bold move, overcooked the corner, and spun Busch around. Despite being hard on Busch in recent weeks, today he genuinely got the short end of the stick. Ross Chastain, known for his aggressive driving, made significant moves throughout the race. He was entertaining to watch, but ultimately made a critical error on the final lap. His aggressive driving style has been a topic of much discussion, especially after that recent incident with Kyle Busch. It was a moment that could have been chalked up to a simple error, yet it had significant consequences. Chastain admitted to locking up the wheels, which led to a collision with Busch, a driver who has been struggling to find his rhythm this season. On the brighter side, after a week of uncertainty regarding his playoff eligibility, Larson secured his 3rd victory of the season, tying with Denny Hamlin and William Byron for the most wins. Larson's triumph was a testament to the impeccable strategy devised by Cliff Daniels and executed flawlessly by Larson, showcasing the synergy between a top-notch car and an elite driver. Chris Buescher has been consistently close to victory. Despite not winning a race since the previous year, Buescher's performance has been commendable and he remains a strong contender. His teammate Brad Keselowski has also been performing well, securing top finishes in recent races. With a top 5 finish and a stage win under his belt, Buescher demonstrated the right strategy to earn those crucial 10 stage points and a playoff point in Stage 2. Michael McDowell also made a strong charge towards the end of the race. As a recent road course winner at Indianapolis, expectations were high and McDowell nearly met them. He matched the lap times of the leading drivers in the final laps, but ultimately it was a case of too little, too late. Despite not being in the points picture for the playoffs, McDowell's performance was commendable, especially considering this is his final year with Front Row Motorsports. The question of whether the lame duck status would affect the team's performance was answered with a resounding no, thanks to McDowell and Travis Peterson's strong effort. Chase Elliott finished in the top 5. Although he is still searching for his first road course win in the new car, his consistent presence near the top is undeniable. A.J. Allmendinger finished 6th, followed by Ryan Blaney in 7th. Blaney, alongside his Penske teammate Joey Logano, had a good qualifying effort and managed to translate that into a solid race finish. Tyler Reddick, who won the opening stage and showed early promise with the best car, faced challenges mid-race. The race also showed strong performances from Todd Gilliland, Daniel Suarez, and a commendable top 15 finish for Corey LaJoie. Alex Bowman, known for his road racing skills, especially at COTA, finished 15th, aligning with his average finish at other tracks. William Byron faced a setback, finishing 30th due to a crash, while Cam Waters and Will Brown encountered their own challenges, preventing them from finishing on the lead lap. Byron, Larson, and Hamlin have each secured 3 victories, showcasing their skill and determination on the track. Chris Buescher's recent performance has been a game-changer, propelling him ahead of Bubba Wallace and placing the number 23 car on the precarious edge of the playoff cut line. Meanwhile, Kyle Busch, Joey Logano, and Chase Briscoe find themselves just outside the playoff bubble, adding tension to every upcoming race. As we look back at the recent race in Sonoma, it's evident that the drivers are pushing their limits with only 10 races left before the playoffs begin. The transition from Fox to NBC USA for race broadcasting marks a significant shift in the season. Kevin Harvick's straightforward commentary on Fox has been a breath of fresh air, as he's not shy about calling out mistakes on the track. However, the banter between Harvick and Bowyer sometimes overshadows the racing action, leading to mixed reactions from the audience. The recent announcements of job cuts at Fox, including the NASCAR Race Hub, raises concerns about the future of NASCAR coverage. The race at Sonoma had its ups and downs, with a sluggish first half giving way to an engaging strategic second half. Watching drivers like Larson overcome an 11-second deficit in less than 30 laps to win the race was a highlight, demonstrating the incredible talent and skill that NASCAR drivers possess. So, what do you have to say about this? Comment down below with your thoughts. And don't forget to like this video, and also make sure that you subscribe to our channel for more upcoming updates. We'll see you again for another one.